So Warframe's been out for a long ass time now. So long that there are many players out there that started playing it as a kid and have grown into full-fledged adults who's still playing it now. What is it about the game that keeps people coming back and playing for sometimes tens of thousands of hours? I mean, I understand why some people play some ARPGs for similar amounts of time. They have seasons of gameplay, and at the start of each new season, they add mechanics and tweak stats, which creates a whole new puzzle for players to figure out how to get the strongest builds to do the most damage. Warframe doesn't do this though. It has content updates, yeah. So what keeps people playing through the game after they have completed all the main story missions? What is it about the game that initially hooked them for the long grind that Warframe is famous for? Also, is the game really that hard to learn for a brand new player? So I, as the inquisitive fellow that I am, booted up my stream for a small dip into the world of Warframe. And oh boy, was I not ready for that journey. It all starts with picking out a frame from the three choices given. I picked Volt because I like to move fast. You start in a real nice tutorial area that gives you your weapons, a bit of information on how the movement works in the game, a nice mini-boss to play with, and finally, a defense mission to finish it up. It's a real nice tutorial that doesn't really hold your hand like many newer games do nowadays. You aren't completely bombarded with tons of information that you'll likely forget right away. Just the basics, and a real fun area to play around in. Once you finish the tutorial, the game briefly explains the star chart, which is, right now, your main form of progression at this point, and explains how the foundry works. The foundry is how you are going to get the majority of your weapons and new frames. In order to get new weapons and such, you first must find blueprints in the missions, or go to the marketplace to purchase them for credits, which is the in-game currency. You then must go into the missions from the star chart and find the materials that your weapon or Warframe blueprints require. Then you are able to start the building in the foundry. Now, this will be the first major issue people will have with the game, in my opinion. Build the Burston, yes. 12 hours? Damn! You may think that after all the resource collection you had to go do to get the stuff that you need for this fancy new rifle was the long part. But oh no, not really. For most weapons that I've found in the game, you're looking at a base time of about 12 hours to build it. That time can go up to 24 hours for some of the better weapons a bit later on. If you're looking to build a new Warframe, then you're probably looking at around 72 hours to get into that fancy new body of yours. While most people will see this as a really long time to have to wait for new things, there are two perks of it. You can build as many things as you want at the same time, so if you have 10 weapons you want and you start them all at the same time, then you'll only have to wait 12 hours for them all to be done. Also, it is not 12 in-game hours. You can log out and go about your life as you wait and log back in the next day and they'll be done. I also find this wait time is kind of nice because it gives me time to look into what I want next, then go start farming those materials while I wait, so I can almost always come back to the foundry, pick up what I wanted, and then start something new. It gives a nice buffer, so I'm not being overloaded with tons of new guns and gears to level all at once. I go build something, then go level a gun and come back. When that's done, grab the new piece of equipment, and then go level that. It is a loop that I really didn't understand fully in my first day, but now, almost 100 hours in, I've found to appreciate it more. And that brings us to the next bit I rather enjoy, is the character leveling progression. So in Warframe, you can level up each frame, primary weapon, secondary, all the melee weapons, all individually, which will in turn make progress towards your account progression, which is done in a mastery system. So you're able to level up your count mastery once per day. So if you get enough experience on the first day to reach mastery 5, you're still only able to progress to mastery 1 on that day. Then once you level your mastery up, a 24-hour timer starts, and only after that has run its course will you be able to proceed to mastery level 2, and so on. It gives you a reason to keep logging in day after day. Now, you will want to keep up on your mastery levels as best you can, as that is how you will get better weapons and equipment, as the better weapons and such are locked behind certain mastery levels. So maybe you do a mission that gives you the blueprint to a sweet new looking shotgun that you want to check out. You gotta go get the materials and build it, and then you see it's a mastery 5 and you're only at level 2. Now you gotta go level yourself up before you can actually equip it. While there are some exceptions to this rule, this is how the game is generally laid out. Now at first, I thought that this was a way to just artificially prolong the game, but I found that it's set up really nicely to give you time for resource gathering and the like, so you don't just run out of materials really quickly and you get stuck in a position where you're just forced to do resource gathering, or get yourself into a position where you're just logging in each day to do your mastery level, and then that'd be the only thing you have to do. Now, the next big hurdle for new players to battle against is the whole weapon and armor modding system. While in the past, apparently, there was no decent tutorial on how to mod weapons or on how the system worked at all, they now have put in a questline that does a pretty decent job on explaining the basics of equipping mods, leveling the mods, and also how the elemental mods can interact with each other to form new types of elemental damage. Which is really nice, because I don't know how long it would have taken me to figure out that particular little bit of information. That particular questline also introduced what turns out to be the quite contentious character between me and my chat. I despise the character and think that he's just kind of an asshole, as he forces you to fight him multiple times when you first meet him, while my chat is a huge fan of him. I really think it's because of the helmet. It's really big and quite goofy, honestly. The last point I wanted to get in this video, which is seemingly getting overly long for this topic, is the Warframe community. I've never come into a game and got such a warm and welcoming greeting when first coming into a game. The community sees a new player and seems to just flock to them, just waiting for the chance to give helpful advice or to help in missions. They are also extremely against giving away any sort of spoilers in the story. I suppose they have put so many hours into the game that just really enjoy seeing someone enjoy it for the first time. Though, once you get through a particular story element, they will happily jump in on requests to help clarify what has happened in the story and to help connect the dots of the more confusing bits. The only real issue I have with the community is that they all want to help just a bit too much. But they have all played the game for so long that all their frames and weapons are so strong that it makes the missions that they help in just so trivial, and I'm unable to actually do anything when receiving the aid. Hence, making the game kind of pointless to play, as I am not actually learning how to use my frames or anything. So for the most part, I've done all the star nodes and main story missions on my own, so I can get the actual experience, rather than just get pulled through the game by overpowered people. Now, the overpowered people do come in handy when I am in a desperate need for farming some materials. I have pulled from my community a bit to just speed up some of the resource gathering, early on, and it was really quite amazing and very helpful. So overall, I think that the current form of the game is in an incredible spot for new players to try their hand at. Most everything is fairly well explained as it is unlocked, and the addition to the questline to learn how to mod weapons, which was, I guess, a pretty big gripe from players from what I've heard in the past. It just makes the game super fun and has been an amazing experience for me. Since my first 10 hours that I put in specifically for this video, I've put in almost 80 more hours and have just been having an absolute blast. I do plan on doing a video about the main story quests and fully unlocking the star chart, so stay tuned for that. Though those might be a bit farther down the line since I work full-time and don't really have a ton of time to dedicate towards the game or making the videos. So if you have seen Warframe on Steam and you've thought about checking it out, you definitely should. It is indeed a very grindy game, but I don't think the grind takes away from the game at all. It is well balanced and an amazing time. I hope this video has really helped someone. If you like the video, think about liking the video and subscribing. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Alright, y'all. I'm Beppel. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great time. Peace.